Welcome, Pepe.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to have you here. This is our
Thanks a lot.
first podcast at the house.
Yes.
I've got to say the full name though. So Jose Maria Segui Gomez de Loya.
De Olea.
De Olea.
Almost. Like
So close.
you're a better Spanish speaker than you think.
I know. Well, thank you. You're very generous. Thank you for the compliments. But you simplified it for me. Thank you. So Pepe, welcome. Pepe is from the, what is that correctly, the Menorca Tech Centre or the Bit Centre. I'll hand over to you for a bit of an intro of what does the centre do, what's your role there, etc., etc.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here today, Luke, and also for being the first podcaster ever at Isla House Coworking. Great place to come by to be, as well as the center, Bit Centre, or the Menorca Tech Centre. Okay, like we have kind of different variations of the name in English.
Yeah.
So what we are is mainly an innovation center with all of its contents that you could expect in a center like this. And so that includes, of course, a space for co-working, but then it also includes some real office space for consolidated companies.
Yeah.
But then it all comes to a special focus on innovative companies that are actually changing Menorca's economy, and especially as well within two main areas. We not only do, although we are focused in it, of course, but we not only do or empower software-based companies, but we also help a lot of innovative hardware or industrial-based companies, and that's something quite special about this center, and I would say that about this island, because there's still a lot of economy like this on the island. Yeah.
There's a lot in there I want to drill into, but just for those people that are less familiar with the Bit Centre, so it's a government-run institution.
Yes, it is. We're actually part of a foundation. It's called the Bit Foundation, which is the sole property of the government of the Balearic Islands, the regional government here for Menorca, Mallorca, Ibiza, and Formentera. And yeah, so we're basically a non-profit foundation that, of course, follows Spanish public entities rules. And we're here mainly to help studying companies on the island, as well as for current, more established or consolidated companies to be able to innovate in a safe space, or even a cheaper one than the one they would be able to find in the free market.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. That's because what I love about the centre, number one, it's a nice, large, modern building in the middle of Menorca. You had your co-working, you had the training. The day I went recently, you had the AI sessions.
Yes.
So that was for people who are just looking for additional training and additional work opportunities. What was the core segment of people who attended?
So actually, those talks that you had the chance to attend, and thank you very much for coming as a participant, they are focused more on the STEM vocations building process. So mainly one of the other missions we have the Bit Centre is to promote the STEM vocations among youth on the island. As I was saying, so the STEM talks that the Bit Centre hosted 2 weeks ago have become kind of a meeting place for both like STEM vocations or youngsters interested in pursuing a tech career, and also tech companies that want to go there, see what advancements are currently happening outside the island, having the opportunity to meet some of their players, even because they come here. They actually do come to the island, right? And yeah, I think it's a very interesting step in order for Menorca, and I think you're gonna ask me a question about that later.
So we've gone through co-working. You've got a space for more developed companies. You're bringing together people from all different industries to learn about modern tech, and some talent to also cross over with them, people interested in those careers. Yeah. You've referenced it briefly at the start, but what I was, the last bit of the tour, the first time I went to the centre, I was blown away with. I think everyone is downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share what's downstairs at the Bit Centre in a bit more detail?
Yeah, so you're meaning like the real downstairs.
Yeah, downstairs.
Downstairs. So there's basically, we like to describe it as the workshop area. Okay, it's a very big space. Currently,
Enormous, yeah.
it even has like a very big free open space that's currently multi-purpose, but then it also offers several workshops that companies can hire.
Yeah.
You can rent the space if they can demonstrate that they are innovative enough, because they, I mean, these kind of workshops have like a very reduced rental price, because they are only thought for companies really promoting something innovative, right? So you need to go through these kind of approval process, but once you're in, you get to use this space with all the facilities, as the personnel and all the help we can give you, also with access to some special conditions from the regional government and stuff, to develop something physical that may actually help in innovating the physical economy of Menorca, which is a lot. Yeah. But then aside from that, we also have something which is public, for public use, although you need to get certified to use specific elements. And that specific space is called the Fab Lab, or Fabrication Laboratory, right? And it's actually an open space for everyone to go see the machines present there, and actually, if you get certified, use them, right? And build your very own things. And depending on, so it's based on digital fabrication. And depending on what you're building, it will even be completely free.
Okay.
Paid by the regional government for those seeking to innovate for a company which has their HQ here on the island. Okay, that's main. But then, even if you are a company from outside, from overseas, right? I very much like that word, using that word in English, especially for our case, islanders.
Yes.
Currently, so you can even use it at very, very low rates.
So in that space, just to be specific, so there's like 3D printers. Can you explain?
There's also wood cutting and automated wood cutting CNC controlled machine, computer controlled machine, with which you can build almost any kind of shape that only requires like 3D sculpture. But then there's of course some other places like even more advanced machines, but we are always looking forward to even improving the machines and functionalities present on in the fabrication laboratory. Then we also have like a laser cutter for wood. It also works for if you want to mark in some way some kind of aluminum, or even some other types of metal, if you want to make some kind of inscription or something like that, mainly to test. So for example, there used to be a lot of jewelry or fake jewelry here, industry on Menorca. How would you call that actually in English? Fake jewelry. I think it has a name. It's not really, we're not saying it's real and it's fake, right?
Yeah,
but
it's you can normally say, well, I don't know if it's Australian, but knockoff. A knockoff is a sort of
I mean, everybody knows what they are buying, right? I mean, it's but like it looks like jewelry, but it's not, right? So there used to be a lot of industry for these sector here on the island, and nowadays we are also trying to empower this kind of sector for them to be able, for example, to test prototypes and test inscriptions, for example, on their creations and stuff. That's why we have this kind of.
Yeah.
So we have mainly at the present moment 3 types of machines, 3D printers, 3 or 4 of them, although we are looking to double them and probably even triple in some time, because they are the most used ones, of course, but widespread all over the world. But then again, this laser cutter, then we also have cutters, like for you to be able to make a physical representation of any kind of logo or anything like that to also add to your physical product. And then finally, this special bigger machine that we were talking at the beginning about, is this kind of wood cutting machine that actually gets you to, I don't really know the English word, even
Nor
like
do
it's
I. Nor do I.
fresadora in Spanish, but yeah.
I know that I'll get there.
There is a name for
yes,
that.
there is a name. But what I found most interesting around that was someone was using it to shape the hull of a large scale boat. The boat was like 10, 15 meters long.
That's actually a very, very interesting, recent and even ongoing creation. It's not yet finished, but like there's even some images available on LinkedIn and some other social networks. So maybe there are these 2 companies present at the Menorca Tech Center, called 3D prototyping, kind of Prototipado 3D Joyas, and Redbot, which are joining forces for this specific project. And one of them, this 3D prototyping company, is putting like the actual design tools and also service, whereas the Rebot company, which is mainly a typical Menorcan yacht company, focused on making them 100% electric. Okay. And then both are joining forces in order to build this hull mold. So people don't usually realize, but building a hull mold is something really expensive. The first mold for a boat is something that's easily well over 100,000 euro.
Okay.
If you wanna build it with some kind of vendor or some kind of manufacturing facility that offers B2B services like this, right? And that's why they saw the opportunity in using, for example, this machine for them to be able to build this hull mold, and it's actually being quite successful. Of course, it takes some time. It's something, this is intended for a boat of a total length of 8 meters. And also with this specific model of boat, that means something like 2.5 meters of width, yeah. And so that's actually, it takes quite some time, but I would say it's working really well. And I think it's a very good example of successful synergy at the center of 2 companies that can use a publicly available resource to build something in a much, much cheaper way, which is also one of the definitions of what innovation is, right? And again, I'm always, when I talk about what we do at the center, like also not wanting for people to forget that we are always focused on anything digital, even if we have this physical part. Why? Because everything happening in this under earth facility, let's call it, is mainly based on digital fabrication tools. Okay, so everything coming from this space uses in some way digital design tools, or you actually need to know how to control these computer controlling systems in order to program how these pieces are going to be built and stuff. And then the rest of the center, I thought you were gonna ask for it. So, but if it's okay, I'm gonna jump directly into it.
Let's go for it.
It's mainly focused on software-based companies, among which we have really wide variety, I would say. Many things happening on the mostly SaaS, but also software. I don't want to say factory companies because those are usually
It means like software, like outsourcing, like consultancies, outsourcing.
not really outsourcing, more like software consultancies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the better word.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, mainly we have a VR and AR company, software consultancy. Then we also have like 3 or 4 SaaS companies, completely SaaS, like an actual, I would call them actual startups, like focused on SaaS.
Yep.
Then we even have this very special company that works in both parts of the building. So they actually have a part of their business that's based in the workshop area.
Yep.
And then they have a software area and training one. So yeah, that's quite interesting how you can see many different things happening in the same place, but even in the same company. That's how these kind of new business models are also developing, like at some point. And I'm coming from the software world. Like I studied, by the way, I think that was also going to be.
We're going to move on to you in a second.
Okay.
A bit more about you
Okay.
and your Menorca story. But so on the software piece, I probably skipped over that fairly quickly because I live in software world all day, every day with a regular job, and I was more excited about the manufacturing stuff instead. So my apologies for moving so quickly to that.
Of course
that
not.
bit.
It's a special thing we have here at the center and on the island, I would say, that we still keep a lot of this industry going on. And I think we really need to empower it and keep innovating on it because it's something in which we can really add a lot of value that cannot be added anywhere else. I believe.
But I think that's what I was so excited with when I first went there and you showed me around was just the scale of it. I didn't expect that sort of scale for Menorca. Not just the building, but the number of projects and activities and people there doing so many different activities, seeing the trainings, involving people in the training, all these different things. I was just delighted to see there's more than I knew taking place in Menorca, and it's fantastic that the Menorcan the Menorca Tech Centre is there. I'll stop tripping over the name in a moment.
Yeah.
The Menorca Tech Centre, everyone. It's not my other version.
Or the Bit Centre.
The Bit Centre. So you're the director there, right? So you're in charge of overall a whole bunch of different activities. You've got a team.
Then also like the presence of the Bit Foundation, which I'm part of, on the island of Menorca.
Okay.
That's my responsibility.